no bitch, she listen to get it. She want it, she know that it happens. Ain't fucking no dirty, she 30 with herpes, it's lurking in on that back page. Yeah, couldn't fuck bitches, my dad tell me.
And we're back making another video. So today we're actually, I mentioned it in the last video. This is the second day doing this. We're getting a bunch of Christmas stuff out, so there's just a mess in here. But we're taking off this pinstripe. And I guess that's going to be the first kind of build video on this truck. I guess kind of taking this pinstripe off, because I've already done a lot of stuff off camera, like you saw. I put in those lights right there. I put in those lights. I tinted the tail lights with actually this stuff. I didn't show it in the last video, but it is called, I got Rust-Oleum lens tint. Ignore that. But you can make it like super dark, like the color of this like lid. But also mine, I'll show you real quick. It's actually a matte finish because that's what I wanted. It's like a matte finish, which I really like. But if you want a shiny finish, what you have to do is, I recommend wet sanding it with like at least 1,000 grit sandpaper, something very fine. And then get clear coat, lacquer clear coat, not matte. You have to make sure it says shiny or like, I don't know how else to put it, but you have to make sure it's like a shiny clear coat, not a matte clear coat, because it'll just turn out the same if it's a matte clear coat. But basically, to take this stuff off right now, the pinstripe that is, you just kind of have to go around with your fingernail and slowly pick it off. And if you see, there's actually a purple one below it, but that is next priority because you can't really see that from a distance. You can see the white though. And everything else being black, it really shows up. So, yeah. And before that white, actually, there was actually this red pinstripe. I don't know if I showed you. Stupid pinstripe. It's just tape that they stuck on. It's like this really nasty red color. But the reason they did is, this is a different door, like I think I said in the last video. So, I mean, I don't care. It still works as a door. But, yeah, this door doesn't have a pinstripe because they didn't put one on whenever they painted it. So that's why they had the red tape on there. But, yeah, I plan on doing more with this truck. I'm not sure, but... Oh, yeah, I gotta show you what happens with these lights, the radio, whenever I have these lights on. I forgot this is what happens with LED lights. So, this might mess with the camera, I'm not sure. If it does, oops. Okay, so you hear the commercials, right? Huh. There it is.
Make sure you go check it out. But yeah,
you can't really hear it over the camera, so there's no point. But anyways, it just has static. Like, it's static and there's no radio that actually comes through. Somehow I'm actually getting stations in here. I don't know why. But yeah, whenever you're moving and stuff, you don't get any stations. So I will actually show you guys how to fix that in another video once I get those parts or find them. The things on the ends of cords, like, I don't think that has one. No, it doesn't, but I will show you what I mean. I'm going to try to find one. Okay, so what I just said, I said I was going to try to find one, but there is none in my garage on anything. So, basically, I'll just explain what they are. So, if you get a cord like this, right, there's normally, on some of them actually, a black thing that goes around. Like, it looks like a little cylinder right near the end of the plug, or whatever you plug into for the power source. That actually, it filters out and keeps some of, like, the waves or something from, like, interfering with other stuff, like... These LED lights, whenever they're on, they send off some type of wave or something happens where it messes with the actual antenna. So it messes with how it picks up stations and stuff. So if you get those little black cylinders and put them around the power wires down there, where I have everything wired up to the stock switch, it'll actually reduce that so you'll actually be able to listen to the radio. It won't really like mess with me when I'm driving because I listen to Bluetooth stuff, but if I drive with my parents, it's mainly radio. So that's the reason why I need them. And it's kind of annoying because if I want to listen to the radio, I really can't with them on. And I kind of need them on because my headlights, even though they're aftermarket, they're still kind of bad. Now, don't get me wrong. These are a heck of a lot better than stock. My stock ones are actually in the spider box up there. But the stock ones, they come in two pieces. There's this reflector thing and, like, I think the turn signal over here. Then it's, like, cut right here. So there's the main part and then the secondary part. And I think it looks better as one piece just all wrapped around, even though my only complaint is there's a big gap right there. But, I mean, I don't care. It doesn't bother me that much. And I'll show you the kind of weird thing about these. Okay, so I didn't mean weird, but I just meant different. So, to adjust these, it really sucks. And I would have liked to see these things metal. Because if they were metal, like if you tried to adjust this right now, this little adjusting plastic thing, it basically just strips in like, I don't know. And these clips, they clip onto that plastic thing and they actually break. Like you can see I broke off the one side right there from trying to adjust the headlights. So I just gave up on that. Also, this piece is a little bit too long. So as you see there, it hits the actual like frame, like, and whenever it hits that part, actually, sorry about that pause, I was thinking about something, but whenever it hits that part, I can't pull it back anymore, and I need to move these headlights up because these low beams are actually very low, like on the road. They're very low in front of me. But the weird thing is my high beams are perfect, so I don't know if it's just how they're made or what. They're still great headlights, but I don't know. Other than that, there's really nothing. Other than the fact you have to splice in wires, which I wish I would have made a video on that. You can kind of see the wires over there. I think I have them sticking out over here. I'm going to try to tuck those back in. But, yeah, you kind of have to splice in wires for the LEDs that go up here. You have to splice those wires in. And I think you have to splice in the turn signal wires. I'm not sure. I don't really recall. Also, I didn't mention it in the last video, but this is a 4.0 V6, so biggest one they made in the Ranger, even though it's a V6. They made a 3-liter, it says, a 2.3 liter, and then the 4.0. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna get back to getting this pinstripe off because my phone's a little low on battery. Okay, now for some reason I turned on my flash and it won't turn off. So I'm not sure if I said this or not, but I got the top one off of this, actually, this panel that goes across, and then this door didn't have one, and I got it off of this back part of the cab, so sort of, most of it. So there's just that. Alright guys, so change of mind a little bit. Right now I'm just going to do a little bit of bumper trimming because this comes very close, like within half an inch whenever I turn it. Alright, Alright, so as you guys just saw, my video, my camera, it had too much, well, my phone, it didn't have enough storage to record that, so it kept cutting out. So I'll show you the bumper whenever I go outside, but today's video is also going to be, I guess, kind of taking this engine to my work and actually kind of fixing it because, well, not these parts, not the cases, the stuff that I need to take is already in my truck. So I guess I'll probably show you that. It's the cylinder, the piston, and then the crank, because the crank, I think it's off balance a tiny bit because the bike vibrates like a decent amount. And that's the only thing I can really think of. If it's not, oh well, I don't really care. But the only thing with this case I didn't show you guys is, I think it's this one. No, it's not this one, it's the other case. This case right here. Let me see if I can get that. There are giant cracks going throughout this whole thing. Let me get the flash on so you can see. Yeah, there. That's just one of them. And then something also went through the engine, as you can see, the black scrapes and stuff. But yeah, there's cracks everywhere. I'm just gonna run it because new cases are like, I'm gonna say, like $400. So it's not that bad. There's also some other blemishes. But the bearings and stuff, I cleaned them all already. Oops. Yeah, I cleaned them all already, and I didn't mean to put that one back in yet, that's why I said oops. I need to get one more of these bearings, which actually, I think it's this bearing. It comes up as a Honda bearing, so it's kind of confusing in a Yamaha engine, but it doesn't spin as well. We cleaned it and stuff, but I think it doesn't spin because, let me see if I can get it, where's it at? Right there, you can see it's dented in right below my thumb, which means that it's probably rubbing on the balls that are inside the bearings, so that's probably what's stopping it from moving. But other than that, everything else is pretty good. Oh yeah, one last thing before I got to my truck. Here's the old piston. There was a lot of hours on this, but I never replaced it because I thought it was sort of good, because from what I could see, all I could see is this right here. Actually, this right here. From what I could see, it was all perfect without taking the head off. But if you look underneath it, there is a lot of hours on this. It's not focusing, but also it kept having lean surges and stuff, and I didn't know why. That's a crack right there that goes the whole way through the thing. And you can actually see it flex if you push on it. You can't see that because of how small it moves, but I can. There's a couple of those, but that's the biggest one. So this was about to blow apart into a million pieces and probably destroy some stuff inside the engine. So I'm glad I got that fixed. Alright guys, so basically this is what the fender looks like trimmed. It looks a little bit wonky, but it definitely clears now. Before we were coming within like half an inch. I didn't get to explain that because my phone shut off once again because it needed storage. But it was very easy. Just get a Dremel, tape it off, and cut it. Here's the stuff I'm taking to work. I'm taking my crank, which is actually aftermarket. It has some side-to-side play, but that's not enough to actually do anything, and there's no up and down play at all. Then I need to take the cylinder, which is already actually honed from my work. And I'm taking it because this piston... But yeah, that's all of what I need to take. Other than that, there's really nothing different. So I guess I'll show you at my work because I need to charge my phone before I go. Alright, just a quick explanation of what I did. So basically, I took my head and I bead blasted it, which is like sandblasting, but it uses different material. It uses like glass beads. And it definitely looks a heck of a lot better than it did. You can see the color difference. So there's a bunch of stuff on there. I needed it cleaned anyways. So I figured whatever. Also, I lied at the beginning of the video. I don't need to drill holes in my piston. That's only if you have a bridge. We weren't sure if I had a bridge or not. I just brought it in anyways. So, yeah, we're pretty squared away now with the build. I don't know. Yeah, we're pretty squared away. Oh yeah, I don't think I ever showed you guys the piston. This thing's clean though. I already checked all the ring gaps and stuff. Everything's fine. No clue what that is. Oh, that's sweet. It says our name and then the thing. 518, okay. Here's the piston. So yeah, there's the nice piston that I got for it. Like last year, that's why it said 518 on it. I just never put it in. I don't think I really have anything else for this. I have all new gaskets and stuff because, you know, you don't want to reuse all that. Unless they're okay and you just put them on not that long ago. But, yeah, that's really all. Also, checked out the crank. Crank's not, like, warped or anything in any way, so it's still perfectly fine to use. I think I'm going to order it actually today. Well, not crank, but brake pads and stuff. These are, like, no brands. eBays, and on a trail ride that I was on a poker run, like, it's sort of like a race thing, but you pull beads at each station, and actually first, this part, the actual, like, material fell off of the brake pad, which I didn't mind then, because, you know, metal on metal, that's always nice, I don't care, it still stops you. So, I rode, like, probably 10 miles without, like, with metal on metal, which kind of stopped me, not great, but it still stopped. And then, all of a sudden, I had no brakes at all. And I realized this pin right here that goes through fell out. So I lost one of my brake pads. This is the only one that I have left. And whenever you lose a brake pad, you know, you can't stop at all because there's nothing like pushing on each side. It's only one-sided, so it doesn't work. And yeah, that's just basically, I rode another 10 miles and I gave up because I face planted like 4 times trying to go down hills. I realized that I never made an outro for the video, so like and comment and also subscribe, but this is when I'm editing the video, and I ordered all the parts. They should be in soon, so you'll see another video with all the